Hello everybody and welcome back again. My name is Steven and today we're back to Katawa Shoujo. So before I get into Katawa Shoujo, well, in today's video, I want to say a bit of a sorry guys that I haven't been posting this. I know I haven't. I've still got a lot of episodes I need to get uploaded and stuff that's on my computer, so that's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to get these episodes out the way because I don't really want this series to be dragging on any longer. So I may end up just cutting out a bit of the outro on a couple of them and just sticking two together so it's a bit longer. So you got a bit of a longer episodes just to get through these series a little bit quicker. So yeah, sorry about that guys, and let's jump straight into the video. Hello everybody and welcome back again. My name is 16 and welcome to Katawa Shoujo. This game is absolutely fabulous and we're going to go. And I clicked on the wrong one. 1 second. Okay, we're back. Class is I can't speak. Class is uneventful. And after the final bell rings, I find myself alone at Mishtu again. That one. That's it. So, it looks like we've all assembled for the second meeting of the science club. Or is it the first? What do you think? Should we count yesterday as a meeting? Not really. It wasn't much of a meeting, to be honest, mate. So, yeah. Whoa. What the heck was all that about? Right. Well, we didn't form the club yesterday, did we? It seems like the club business, so we could all safely call yesterday a meeting. Mishtu smiles in his neutral state in an awkward way. I wonder if the muscles in his face are not just sharpened correctly to let him smile naturally. You really do have a knack for this. I think logical thought process that is. I guess so. A scientist speaks with unfortunate. The answer is yes. Yes, I do. That would have been a lot more better if he said it that way. Just saying. When the world wants to know how it works, we tell it. Even if we all got this a decent hypothesis. But we must sound a certain way. Because we're the authorities on the subject, right? He chuckles, to go along with his awkward smile at his awkward joke. I'm doing my best not to Clement, but I don't think I'm being too successful. That's entirely false, of course. We know a lot, sure, but nobody's an expert on how the world works. If only because nobody can be sure. There are no experts. But we like to pretend sometimes. There's some things that we can be certain of, right? Yes, but no. We know there's gravity there, for example. To really, Mystery picks up a pencil and drops it. See? Still there. But it's good to check it once in a while. That's why you'll see researchers mucking around with gravity. We're pretty sure we know how it works, but there's always a chance that something isn't how we think it is. So you check, and check, and check. That's science in a nutshell, you know. The whole time I've listened, feeling rather spellbound. Mishito seems to be passionate about this stuff. I think it's hard to tell sometimes how the world works, how humans work, how the universe works. All these questions to be answered. And depending on what I go into, maybe I could even figure out a way to fix them myself, my heart. That said, I don't think that's a real priority for me. Besides, we just started discussing the book he gave me yesterday. I find myself more and more interested in that than my heart condition. Not bad, you know. Before we even realised it, an hour's gone by. Well, let's do all this meeting for now, okay? We'll have another meeting tomorrow. Or, the other day. He considers this for a moment. Call it the day after. I've got a lot of grading to do. Okay, see you then. As I exit the classroom, I realise I don't really have anything to do tonight. Emmy and I didn't make plans, so I guess I'll go to the library. It beats doing homework in my room anyway. The library always seems cooler than the rest of the building. Probably to keep the books from getting damaged by heat and humidity. Books are study subjects. Well, study objects, not subjects. What the fuck am I saying? But if you want to keep them in good condition, it takes a little effort. I've got several books that are so well worn the pages are barely clinging to the spine. It seems impossible for them to still be usable, but if you handle them with care, I can make my way to the main desk. What? Oh, okay, so he's moved on. I'll make my way to the main desk, where I spot Miko. Yuko? Yeah, Yuko. I'll do Yuko. Busying herself with something or another. She smiles at me as I enter and wave. Hello, Hisao. Good to see you again. What are you looking for this time? Nothing in particular. I guess I just don't really feel like going back to my room, is all. Yuko nods. Well, if you're unoccupied, maybe you could help me look for something. Sure, what do you need? Yuko brings a finger to her lips and looks around furiously. She seems to be looking for eardroppers. Come closer. That's a bit too close. Step back. Jesus. I take a few hesitant steps forward while feeling, unnerved. Yuko lowers her voice to a conventional whisper. I'm on the tail of the Yakumo cat burglar. The what? The music. Guys, this music though. This music is fabulous. I'm looking at the... One second. You must like... Hang on, I'm just going to move this over. I'm looking at my audio right now and it seems so bloody quiet. Okay. Why are you so quiet? I don't know. Anyway. We'll just move that back over there. And back over so we can carry on. Shh. The walls have ears, Ishno. Or they might do. But listen. Those missing books. Remember them? Yeah? Well, they ain't missing. They were stolen. I'm convinced of it. I remember you saying something of the sort earlier, but how do you know? Yuko leans in close and, if possible, whispers even lower. Because I found one of his hiding places. You did what? Yuko looks triumphant. Found one of his stashes. It was under one of the stairwells in the boys' dorm. 3 books I've been looking for. All there. I suspected a thief before, but this proves it. So did you take the books back? Back the books? Yuko looks as if I just suggested she walk around naked. Are you nuts? He can't know I'm onto him. He might go around and invade capture. So what do you need my help with then? Yuko casts another glance around the library and leans in closer. You've got to spy for me. Spy? Yeah, like when you're in the dorms, you know? Keep an eye for suspicious activity. What considers suspicious anyway? I mean, Kenji's a pretty suspicious dude, but I'll wager that he barely goes to class, much less sneaks into the library to pill for some books. Still, what's the harm in saying yes? At least I'll get me out of this weird conversation. Yeah, I can do that, no problem. Yuko straightens up and claps excitedly. Great. Now hurry up and talk about something else in case somebody comes in. How's the school treating you? Pretty well actually. I've been running in the mornings with Emmy Albaraxike. I fucking don't know. I'll just keep with the Emmy. It's better. Right. Yeah. How do you know? I served you two in the tea house, remember? I decided that if you were going to run with anyone, it would probably be her. She looks pleased with herself. Impressive. Anyway, yes, we've been running in the mornings, and we kinda started dating. Yuko claps her hands together excitedly. Really? That's great. I bet you two are great together. I love seeing people find one another like that, you know? I even thought to myself when you walked into the Shanghai that one time, I wonder if that kid will wind up with one of those girls. Really? Yuko doesn't seem to notice my somewhat weird out tone and nods affirmatively. Yep, I could tell that you wound up with one of them, you know? I've got an eye for that sort of thing. Of course. Expression drops suddenly. I'm not so good at it myself. Oh, I'm sure that's not true. Oh, it's true. I met this guy once. We got along, really great, but it turned out he was younger than me. And that was kinda weird, but not terribly so. That was really weird that he disappeared one day. I've not seen him since then. What does that seem kind of odd? Doesn't it? I hope it wasn't something I did. I feel compelled to reassure her. I'm sure it wasn't. I intend to try to calm her down further, but the both of us jump in surprise at the ringing suddenly coming from my pocket. Yuko's starting to steady herself as I pull up the phone from my pocket. I feel a little sheepish for indirect cause in the incident. Emmy, what's up? Oh, thank God I haven't called your phone before, so I didn't know if this number would work, or whether you would pick up and I can't. Whoa there, Emmy, slow down. What's wrong? There's a pause on the other side of the line, during which I can hear Emmy trying to control her breathing in order to calm down. Something's got her terribly agitated and started to agitate me. Can you stop by? Like now, or shortly after now? I really, really need to talk to you. There's a tone of pleasing in the last sentence that I don't think I've ever heard from her. Of course, I'll be right there. Hold steady, okay? In my agitated state, I apparently started saying things that I don't quite make sense. Okay, I'll be okay. See you soon. I pressed the button to end the call before slipping the phone back into my pocket. Apologized to Yuko for running off and run off. Perhaps at some point I would have stopped to think about the time, or how suspicious it looked for a guy to enter the girl's dorm at this hour. Except right now I'm convinced we're getting to Emmy and finding out what's wrong, and how I could help her. I knock on the door, and I'm agreed to come in. Something is very wrong as I stare at the scene before me. Emmy's there, yes, but she's in a wheelchair. Her legs are missing, and I glance around the room and see them sitting in the corner, like they've been thrown there. Emmy responds to my entrance with a little grin that is both pleased to see me and completely and utterly heartbroken. Hi, Ishna. It looks like she's been crying, but if she was, she's stopped now. I noticed that I'm a little out of breath. I haven't taken the stairs 2 at a time in order to get here. My heart doesn't seem to mind the strain, though. I file this happy fact away for later conversation. Like when I'm not staring somehow dumbstruck at my girlfriend in a wheelchair. Realizing I've still not responded to greet her, my brain lurches into gear. Emmy, what happened? Guess I should have listened to you, Ishna. My leg's got a nasty infection, and I'm not allowed to run on it for at least a couple of weeks. She gives me a bitter laugh that shouldn't be coming from her. Heh. I can't even walk on it. I could have used the clutch and kept one of my legs, but I didn't see the point. Why hop? You can't run on one leg. At least this way I can still, I don't know, roll fast or something. God damn it. Haha, yeah, that's good, right? My awkward attempt to look on the bright side seems
appreciated, but not really effective. Emmy shrugs again. It's just kind of a nuisance. I mean, we can't even eat up on the roof now. No wheelchair access. Yeah, but that's not a big deal, right? I mean, we can still eat together. That's the important thing. That lopsided grin, it hurts to look at. I suppose so, yeah. But like I said, it's a nuisance. I mean, I haven't really used the wheelchair in, she thinks for a minute, maybe 7 years? Something like that anyway. A long time. I'm afraid I'm a bit out of practice. Well, fortunately it's only temporary, right? Emmy nods. Oh yeah, of course. It's not like I've lost my... What? Something. I'm fucking dumb. But it's the pain in the ass all the same. I nod sympathetically. Oh my god, my flipping throat. Ugh. There's not much else I can do after all. What am I gonna do? Say, I told you so. Although, I did tell her to get that leg looked at. But, all the time I noticed it was too late anyway. Do you need any help with anything? Can I help you with anything? Emmy shakes her head. There's a bit of a usual grin back. Nah, I can manage fine by myself. Although, if you want to help me over to my bed, it would save me the trouble of rolling over there myself. I blush in spite of myself. Emmy giggles. You're quite a brute. No, I'm not a pro. I'm just wouldn't want to take advantage of a young woman such as yourself. It's ungentlemanly. I wheel Emmy's chair to her bed and easily scoop her up and deposit her there. She quickly sorts herself out and sits on the side. She's actually a little heavier than she looks. It would be rude of myself to say this aloud, of course. Man, you're kind of heavy. So you do it anyway. Emmy hits me with a pillow. Ass. Just saying, is all. Must be all that running. At the mention of running, Emmy's grin fluttered slightly. Well, I guess I won't have to worry about that for a bit, huh? Maybe I'll lose some weight. That's what you do. That's what you do. You do to lose weight, right? Increase physical activity. I'm pretty sure that's what the nurse would recommend. Speaking of which, are you still going to show up in the mornings? I hate to run out. Oh shit. Emmy's suddenly, despite muttering than anything too profound, causes me to look over in shock. She's leaning forward, trying to cover the fact that she's crying by covering her eyes with her hand. Of course, the subdued sobbing makes it pretty obvious that she's crying. Hey, I'm sorry. Forget I said anything, okay? I place a hand gently around her and pull her close. I can think of nothing else to say or do. How do you comfort someone who's just lost their legs again? Emmy wraps me in a hug and stays that way for a while. Sorry. I'm pretty bored at this whole comfort thing, I guess. Don't say that. I'm fine, really. Her voice is slightly muffled by my chest. I pat her head and says, that's the spirit, right? You'll get through this fine. I know it. Besides, I'm here to help you, remember? Emmy lifts her head and stares at me with her tear-stained eyes. Can you? Can you really? She's grinning lopsidedly and something sparks in her glaze. I can't tell if I'm being mocked or not. Oh, God. Oh, sure, of course. Sure, you're a bit heavy, but... My witty comment is cut off by a sudden press of Emmy's lips on mine. I'm caught off guard, and I am warded by hitting my head on the wall behind the bed. God damn it. Ow. Emmy pulls back, trying to look convinced rather than like she's about to laugh. Are you okay? Sorry. I rub my head ruefully and grin back at her. Caught me off guard there. Is that going to become a habit? Am I going to be lectured by Shinichi Mishita more? At the mention of the duo, Emmy giggles. Honestly, those two. If I don't know why, be utterly confused as to why she hangs around with anyone so bossy. Which one we're talking about? You know the one. Which no. Mishita's hardly bossy. So what's the reason then? Huh? The reason why Mishita hangs around Shinadun? Emmy waves my question off with a smile. No idea. I see. Anyway, you seem to be forgotten the original question, don't you? Oh yeah, I guess I am. You wouldn't mind giving a guy a little warning, could you? Otherwise, I'll listen and wind up with a conclusion. I emphasise the point by rubbing the back of my head. Emmy gilgles madly. You could wear a helmet. Some kids here do, you know. Or I could just take revenge. I grab a pillow from behind me and smack Emmy over the head. Oh, Emmy topples off the bed and lands on the floor with a big thump. Her arms promptly reappear on the bed as she manages to pull herself back up. She really has a surprising amount of strength in that little body. Her face is turned downwards and away from mine, making me think I have accidentally hurt her. Emmy, you okay? I didn't hit you. A hand shoots up and grabs my collar. She pulls me in with a sharp tug, her face now barely an inch from mine, and she grins cheekily. Emmy? Huh. She gives me a sharp headbutt. Our foreheads make quite a loud thud. I sit back up and rub out now my sore head as Emmy smirks vigorously. How's that for revenge? No fair. You can't take revenge for revenge. For somebody missing most of her legs, Emmy's surprisingly agile. I swipe at her and she definitely rolls out the way and lands a hit with her pillow. Of course the odds are against her. I can stand up for starters. Oof. Oh, no. I guess I can't after all. Emmy seems to have tippled me up and is now sitting firmly astride me as I lay on my back. I'm not even sure how she managed it. I win. Her eyes twinkle as I thoroughly defeated, and by a girl that's a fraction of my size. At that. Then again, being defeated doesn't seem quite so bad. Emmy being positioned over my waist isn't something that I and my body can ignore easily. I open my lips to speak, but Emmy darts towards before I could get much of a word out. I have no resistance as she presses her mouth to mine. Not that I don't want to. This is different somehow. She pulls back, nips at my lower lip, and shrinks the embrace. Her tongue darts inside my mouth, exploring. I can feel a warmth spreading through my body as my heart begins to beat faster. Oh my god. My mind starts to go foggy, and I become vaguely aware of my hand travelling up Emmy's blouse. Emmy grasps as I reach her breast, and then there's a giggles, and then I stare her up at a grinning Emmy. I told you. Told you that makes my second win now. What? That doesn't count. You use feminine. All fair in love and war, right? Ha! You're even blushing. I don't know you were a blusherish now. You were blushing too. You know, probably because your foolish ways. Even though I got to admit this is a stupid thing to say to a woman who's currently straddling me and has been up until a few seconds ago, playing tonsil hockey with me. I prude, am I? Well then, let's see who blushes first, shall we? I'm not sure whether the tone of her voice terrifies or arouses me, but that question is quickly made rather mute. Oh. I'm not sure if that's allowed on YouTube, but I will cover her up either way, just to make 100% sure. In a motion of practice tease, she peels her blouse off and tosses it carelessly aside. Her bra and skirt quickly follow it onto the floor. Ha! I figure the urge to blush. It's a rather hard task. Exhalation, is it? My own shirt follows suit, a bit some difficulty thanks to my position. Emmy
Mark yawns. You gotta try harder than that. My hand did carelessly Emmy's bare skin, causing her to shiver. It would seem that my hands are acting on their own again. If our position had let me, I'll probably have finished undressing for her. I start to say something about how Emmy's starting to blush, but both of us are very rapidly reaching the edge of something that barely holding us back. Conversation grinds up to a halt, and I feel my arms losing energy. Neither of us, however, are prepared for this new sensation. An ingredient heat surges through me, coming from both myself and Emmy, and it seems Emmy as well. With one hand on my chest to steady herself, and another holding mine to make sure that I can't have my way with her body again. She looks quite pleased with herself, and then after a moment's hesitation she moves, and moves again, and again. As she moves, Emmy's breath hitches. My breath is starting to come faster and more agitated as well. Emmy's body shivers and shudders against mine. I can feel her starting to lose her balance. It must be harder for her to keep steady because of those missing legs. I steady her as best as I can, coupling my hand round her backside. It's firm and taut, making sense considering how much she runs. The potential power in those muscles make them flex as she responds to my touch. What I fail to take account is that my attempt to steady is kinda slides her forward, and well, it amazes me. Her panties slide. Oh my god, what the fuck is going on? Her panties slide against my trousers, and it doesn't take long for us to figure out a rhythm. But Emmy refuses to keep it going now fast and slow, now pausing for what it feels like an eternity. I'm not sure whether she's doing this to toy with me, or if it's just to make her feel better, but I'm well past caring. The heat between us is growing more intense, and I can't hold back a gasp. The noise only seems to drive Emmy along. I begin to push her movements with my own, what causes her modest breasts to bounce in time with my movement. What the fuck? Her breath begins to come faster as we continue. My own breathing becomes really quick. Her eyes closed. Her lips are excited. Oh my fucking god, this is so awkward. I managed to lift myself up for a few moments, our mouths seeking one another, her chest sliding against mine as our sweat mangles. Oh my god. As I flop back down, my trousers are soaked with sweat. I would take them off if it wouldn't mean stopping what we're doing. And I don't want to stop what we're doing. Stop this growing pressure that tickles in the back of my brain. Emmy sliding faster and faster, panting heavily. Her voice seems unable to convey what she's feeling. Her body, on the other hand, is doing a fine job. She suddenly moves a little, agitated, so her own breath hitches into my throat, ending a final desperate thrush that sends me over the edge into a similar feeling that I did not know existed. My mind blanks, filled with white noise, and I scramble to the feeling of climax for a few seconds. Everything else in the world falls away except for this amazing feeling of Emmy and I together. And then it passes. The white noise clears and I'm left staring up in the eyes of the girl atop of me. A few minutes, neither of us speaks. The sound of our breathing fills the room, our chests heavily from the experience. She eventually just shifts off me and sits against the wall. I join her. I'm just going to end it there, guys. Hope you've all enjoyed watching, and what a fucking way to end the episode today. And I'm guessing it's going to get a bit more weird, because I know that there is meant to be like a full-on scene eventually. I'm pretty sure somebody, Charlie said to me about it. So, yeah. Oh, this is going to be so awkward. Anyway, guys, hope you've all enjoyed today's episode, and yeah, You just got some breasts on your screen at the moment. Well, you would do if I didn't censor it. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!